Hi, I'm Chris Roselli.
And I'm Clara Lewis. Welcome to Western Window, a show made for you by the students at Western Washington University.
This time, we'll learn the secret behind Western's latest honor, Top College for Peace Corps Recruitment.
We'll take a closer look at some amazing upcycled art created by WWU designers. We'll visit with some alums who are making a big name for themselves in the manufacturing world and more. So stay with us as we explore our world through Western Window.
The little that I know is that I think JFK started the Peace Corps, basically to help foster international development and humanitarian aid, things like that.
I think it's really great what they do for people in other countries.
Right out of college, I mean, it'd be difficult and as well as expensive to travel a lot. And I feel like just being able to get out of the country through that, maybe actually do something positive with that at the same time, can be very helpful. I have some friends that have done it. We're doing it right now that have said a lot of good things.
Oh, I'm definitely pro Peace Corps. I thought about doing it many times, but yeah, it's a big, obviously it's a big time commitment, and it's you have to be very dedicated.
You would join if you had the opportunity?
Absolutely.
I think the Peace Corps is really good if you are looking for a direction or you don't really have a direction yet and you have some time to contribute. But I know what I want to do with my degree and how I want to contribute to society in my own way. So
I feel like volunteering fits into kind of the state of mind people have at Western. It fits in with the community.
Oh, well, I guess it kind of makes sense. I feel like a lot of people that go to school here are actually going to school to try and make the world a better place, as cliche as that sounds.
I was just talking today with some of my fellow classmates about how Western's #1 for middle size school, and I think UW is #1 for big schools in the grad school category, and then Gonzaga I think is #1 in the small schools. So we thought it was really awesome. We're like, wow, Washington's sweeping the Peace Corps.
It's cool, but honestly, I'm not too surprised. It's good. I'm glad I go here and associated with people like that.
Certainly, we're very, very proud to have this recognition, and on behalf of our over 800 Peace Corps alumni, we accept that honor.
I'm here with Carrie Hessler-Radelet, who is the acting director of the Peace Corps, if that's
right.
correct.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for being here in Bellingham with us today.
It's my pleasure. What a beautiful spot to be.
There's some really exciting news about Western, actually. We are
Absolutely.
the largest provider of volunteers into the Peace Corps of medium-sized universities in the United States.
That is exactly right. Western is #1 among colleges that have between 5,000 and 15,000 students.
So the Peace Corps is 51 years old this year, correct?
51, yes.
Wow.
Started by John F. Kennedy.
And then?
Our first director was Sergeant Shriver, so big shoes to fill here. We work in 6 sectors, and I'll tell you what they are. They're agriculture, environment, health, education, community economic development, and youth development. We come at the invitation of our host country. We work on their priorities, not ours. We have volunteers, 8,000 volunteers in 76 countries around the world.
Wow.
And historically, more than 210,000 Americans have served internationally with Peace Corps. It's a 2-year service, so that adds up to 420,000 years of service, American service abroad through Peace Corps.
Over 51 years.
Over 51 years.
I talk to students at Western who will say the reason why they choose to come to Western is because of the friendly nature, how open and welcoming it is. And as our president Bruce says, it's a school that teaches people to understand that higher education isn't higher education unless it's for a higher purpose. Would you say that Peace Corps is sort of doing a lot of those things as well?
Absolutely. And in fact, I really see that a lot of our core values are aligned. I was really touched by that phrase. I mean, I do agree. I think that we have a responsibility to humankind, that those who have been given much have a responsibility to share with others, that that we have a responsibility to the underserved, and I see that in the Western community here. Just looking at some of the opportunities here, that it's clear that service is important to this community, and it's not just international service, it's domestic service as well. It's service in your community. These people who volunteer regularly are exactly the kind of people we want at Peace Corps, and I see that you are preparing your students to be globally minded. They can turn idealism into action.
And then, on the other hand, I mean, we had 73 volunteers go into the Peace Corps, and the Peace Corps has people all over the world,
Yeah.
right? So we have these alumni who are graduating and they're going out all over the world. But you might have somebody who would say, well, you know, the reason why Washington and why Western is contributing so many volunteers to the Peace Corps is because of the economy. I mean, what would you say to somebody who would say something like that?
I would say that Peace Corps is a fantastic way to launch a career, because Peace Corps volunteers learn another language, they get international work experience, they learn how to work in multicultural teams, they develop leadership skills that they develop through community work that's really tough, so they also show that they have stick-to-itiveness, if that's a word. You know, they can stick to a tough problem. They are innovative and creative. They develop skills that will help them in their career for the rest of their lives. And they're exactly the kind of skills that employers are looking for. And so I would counter to say that actually Peace Corps volunteers are people who have a brilliant career in front of them. And the people who go into Peace Corps are people who know that this is an excellent career choice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Today we were having a Peace Corps Around the World fair where students could come and talk with different volunteers serving in all the 7 regions around the world and ask questions, look at photos, and be inspired.
I'm Kathy Patrick, and I served in Thailand from 1984 to 86. I'm an academic advisor in Huxley College of the Environment.
I served in Madagascar from 2000 to 2002. And I was a graduate student at Western.
I served in the Peace Corps in Ukraine from 1998 to 2000, and I am an assistant professor in elementary education in second language acquisition.
My name is Susan Anderson. I was a Peace Corps volunteer in Lesotho, which is in southern Africa, and my connection with Western is that I'm a career counselor in the Career Services Center.
I'm so excited I just started here in September working here, and I'm so excited to be part of a university that really does promote the Peace Corps and the ideals of the Peace Corps and the globalness and promoting going overseas and everything. So I think it's awesome.
It doesn't surprise me at all. Western students are incredible students. They really are exemplary in that they have a sense of what they can do for the community.
Yeah, I'm so excited for Western, and I know that it just reflects the students here are incredible. They have such a global way of thinking. They care about the world and they want to learn about it.
Western has had a formal relationship with the Peace Corps for over 30 years. And so we've always had a designated person here in our Career Services Center who can talk to students and faculty about the Peace Corps. I think second of all, we have faculty and staff that really do value global education. Service is a part of, service learning is definitely a part of what our students do in the classroom. So I think that support from faculty and staff. And then finally, students. I think we just have, for many, many years, have had students who are interested in service, who are interested in the world, and who have a really healthy sense of adventure.
Remade is an annual design challenge that combines sustainability and entrepreneurship. Designers turn old trash into new art. And by going through this trash to cash process, students are given a fresh understanding of the designer's impact on both the economy and our environment.
So these are tortuguitas, and that is Spanish for baby turtles. They're made of 5-gallon containers that I got from the Western Recycling Center, like strawberries, mayonnaise, just industrial-sized food. Cut that up, molded it, and then I completed it with the bottom side of water bottle, and they're spray painted on the other side. And they're meant to be children's toys. You can press on the tail. They can do tricks and things. This is kind of what I came up with, Tortuguitas.
This is Cubics. It's a chipboard puzzle. There's all these little pieces and stuff. And chipboard's used in construction sites. And usually it's thrown away right after they finish building what they're building. So I figured we'd cut it up into little cubes and we make it a puzzle.
As industrial designers, we create tomorrow's products. But with that, we also create tomorrow's landfill. I felt a need to remedy that or to have more of a conscience regarding what we're doing. So we began this project to create products from trash in 1995, and our students were very successful and won several awards that first year. As that project evolved and competition evolved, I wanted to incorporate entrepreneurialism into the curriculum. But there were no classes that really matched what we wanted at the university. So I decided to combine this sustainable design project, which I entitled Remade, with entrepreneurialism. That first year, the students were required to create a product and do a low volume production of 20 pieces each. Once I approved their designs, they began to manufacture each one of them. And then we found a venue to sell these at. Our first venue was the Whatcom Museum of History and Art. The students became better and better at making products out of trash. One of our local shops, which had opened up about 5 years ago, Ideal, wanted us to partner up. Currently, for the past 5 years, we've been selling our goods in their shop. It's a great relationship. They give us the store window to display the products in, as well as some shelf space. We have a very generous contract from them. They take 30% and the students get 70%. And being so close to town, we're able to tweak things, adjust prices, come in and out of the shop during the week. Several of our students work there actually, and they would like to have more of our students continue working as these other students graduate.
I bought these flower scrubbers. They're made by Western's industrial design students, and they're made from, it's like canvas and teak wood. So they're remade from recycled goods. And I bought 2 of them for Mother's Day, one for my mom and one for my girlfriend's mom.
I bought 8 Bohr's bottle, this made out of refurbished wine glasses. And then I also bought Rosalie's dish scrubber as a gift for someone. So I think this is a great project. I've done this project myself before, and it's one of the best learning experiences I've had in this program. So they did a really good job this year.
For me, it's a student energy. I love that part. Yeah, it's great because we get to interact with them several times throughout the project, kind of consulting from a retail perspective, and then today they came in and did the window display, and they are doing the shelf display. So we get to, it's fun to have them around, and they're full of ideas. It's really pretty great. It keeps us young.
And it is nice to also, from the community standpoint, get lots of students and faculty down from Western into downtown Bellingham, and that's an important piece because a lot of times we don't see many of the students throughout the year since they're busy with their studies.
That's true. And I am an alumnus of Western as well, so I hope to get that in the art department.
This is Bottle. It's a multifunctional vessel for the home made out of upcycled wine bottles with a hand-lathed reclaimed fir top that I painted a band of chalkboard around to label the contents. Working with Entre Amigos and the local business Ideal Carefully Curated Goods inspired me to try to make an object that would be equally appealing to people in both places, making a vessel that would be universal and useful no matter where you are in the world, but also personal. With the addition of the chalkboard band was really my inspiration.
It is a wooded island in the heart of Bellingham. Spanning 165 acres, the Seaholm Hill Arboretum crowns the city. And we got a chance to follow along with Dave Ingebretson, who is a longtime Western teacher and caretaker of the Seaholm Hill Arboretum as he maintains this local treasure.
Good dog. My name is Dave Ingebretson. I'm in the geology department, a professor. Well, I've been trying to improve the resources for teaching outdoors, and this area that we're here is part of that effort. We started about 12 years ago. So I work in the Arboretum with students. I've done it every year since the year 2000. Dozens of students have done most of the work that you see done around on the trails here. I was born with some kind of disease I can't pronounce the name of when I was in utero with mom. And then later on I developed what's called cone rod dystrophy. And it's just a degradation of the cones and rods in your retina. I can see light and I can tell where the trees are and where the trees aren't and where the leaves are gone just by the light. This is Sporty. He turned 2 in September. I have another guide dog at home that guided me for 9.5 years. I've had him now about 5 months. He was trained in Boring, Oregon. It's a campus of guide dogs for the blind. It's a company that gives these dogs to visually impaired people free of charge. They say they're worth about $75,000 by the time they get out of their training. And they're very smart. And you're welcome. And this one's quite lovely, actually, compared to my other one. Every dog's different. This one's fast and fun and attentive and enjoying the heck out of it, really.
Dave is a beautiful man. He's quite the character. Every class is inside, I feel like, but this is just, it's a time to be out in nature with the trees and in silence, hear the birds and do some real work. I got involved through a class. I signed up online. It was a geology class 400 level. I just found out about it through a friend, and they said I could come here and work on trails. And I said, that sounds like a lot of fun.
I was taking Dave's geology class and really was interested in because it was called Outdoor Learning Resources, and I'm an education major. So got involved in the class and then asked if I wanted to be part of the independent study. I think more students should get out, run, walk in the Arboretum, enjoy it, and see it as it changes over the seasons. And then also, the more students out here, the more people will know that there's a presence and be less likely to trash it.
We wouldn't be here without the students. So I think it is the students, that part of it, and the support that the university gives to us faculty members to make the best experience possible for the students. So number one, it would have to be the students.
So this is hangware, and what I did was I found old wooden hangers that were being unused from different stores, different people's closets, and I found that they were a very durable material made out of really fine wood. So what I did was I upcycled them into kitchen utensils and came up with a set of 3 spoons made out of wooden hangers.
Founded in 1997, Pro CNC is an aggressive, fast-growing, and technology-driven manufacturing company that's becoming a powerhouse in the world of contract manufacturing. Dedicated to its founding principles of value, quality, and service, this little company is making a big name for itself, and its founders are Western alums.
So CNC is computer numeric control,
And that's the type of machines that we use to make all of our parts. So they're controlled by a machine and they do all the cutting. And then the Pro part of it actually came sort of derived from the software that we used to do all of our programming, which tied in with the engineering software that our customers used.
I knew from early on that I wanted to do vehicle design, and I did look around the country, and Western had one of, by far, the best hands-on programs, and I'm a hands-on kind of guy.
Kelsey is my brother, and so he went down to Western to take that vehicle research program, and when he was down there, he said, "Oh, you've got to come down and check this out. It is so much fun." So I went, "Oh, okay." So I went down there and sat through a class and went, "Oh, this is so much fun." Basically quit my job and went back to school.
I grew up in New Jersey and started my college career at Boston University doing a mechanical engineering program. And after doing it for almost a year, and I came home for Christmas break, my mom had kept one of my car magazines that had been coming to my house, you know, and hadn't moved the subscription to college. And there was an article about the VRI, and it was in one of the big national magazines. And I can remember clearly laying on the couch at Christmas break, reading this magazine, and just being just in awe that there was a place like this, that you could actually go and design and build cars hands-on.
Yeah, we met up the first year in some of the entry-level classes at the VRI.
Building an engine together.
Yeah, we were
motorcycle
there.
engine on the.
That's one of the classes. You got to tear it all down and build it up. And so Paul and I were partners, and we
were
set up to. That was our first project together.
It was.
Yeah. We were co-team leaders for a year and did a lot of design work together. And I think that was what really created a big bond for us. And it was also our insight into being able to be partners outside of college, and something that we thought we could really pull off as business partners for a long time. So. I mean, I think we work in one of the most complicated styles of business there is. Manufacturing of high-end aircraft parts and assemblies and engineering has so many different facets, and there's a million places things can go wrong, and if just one does, it's done. And so we're in a constant, not struggle, because it's not a struggle, it's actually a opportunity and a love to find those places where we go, oh, we can fix it here, or we can change this here, and there never seems to be a shortage of that. I think that's one of the things that intrigues me the most about the business we're in.
And Kelsey and I have very different roles in the company. He's very much more on the technical side, which is good because he's way better at it than me. And I am more the front end of the business. I work in the sales department. I interface with our customers a lot. So for me, I love sort of the hunt, you know, going after a new customer, winning a big order, and, you know, seeing it go through the shop and make that customer happy and have it be a financial success for the company. So I always think of it as three legs of a tripod. And, you know, I'm the sales end, Kelsey's the technical end, and Darcy's the business end. And without all three of those, it would tip over. But we have those three, and it's a stable platform. I'm not sure if it was the very first, but the one I think of as the first customer was actually a snowshoe mold for a person who used to be a professor at Western and went off and started his own company just shortly before we did. And we kept in touch, and Ken Gamble, Quattro Composites, we made this snowshoe mold for him. And I remember being just amazed when we shipped it, because it was $5,000, and we were like, holy smokes, that's a huge order. And now we get dozens of those every day, and it's like nothing, but it was huge at the time.
Yeah, so it's sort of a real bootstrap effort, that's for sure. I don't know how long it was before we received our first paycheck. I remember that. It was for $500. Like after 9 months of not being paid or something, we got our first monthly paycheck for $500, and I was like, wow, we made the big time, I'm getting paid. That's been sort of a philosophy of ours throughout the company, is basically you got to enjoy where you work. And really it's not just like, oh, that would be nice. It's one of the foundations of how we operate the company. And I think that's come from an understanding that your life can be really great if you really enjoy the people you're working with and the environment you're working in. So it's part of what we say the company's about. So.
Yeah.
So I'm making knives
out of polyethylene plastic. So basically, I'm taking bottle caps and I'm melting them down into handles. So I basically take this mold and fill it up with the ground up plastic, and it turns into these little tiles. From there, I'm attaching them to knife blanks found from Goodwill that I just stripped the handles from and then shined for the knives. Combining those two, I was able to then make these knives, which I'm calling the tapas knife, which is caps in Spanish.
That wraps up this episode of Western Window.
Be sure to tune in next time to find out more about the world at and around Western Washington University.